How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? It's joke. I never thought like it. I got a pet hamster. If I'm not around to take care of him, no one else will. It gives me a reason to get up, go to work, to afford his care, and a companion. Citalopram. I still get the thoughts sometimes, but not as often. Haven't necessarily gotten over them yet, as I'm still struggling to deal with them. But as cliche as it sounds, having a close friend/s that lend me constant support, really helps me realize I'm not alone, and that they're willing to always be there without considering me to be a burden to them at all whatsoever. Also, playing video games and reading comic books also helps me get my mind off suicidal/intrusive thoughts immensely. Super late and this will probably get buried, but I'll post anyway. It sounds super trite and cheesy, but my pets are the only thing that keep me going at times. Yes, I would never want to put my friends and family through it, but when I look at my 2 rescue cats, it always helps quiet down those suicidal voices. I've had them since they were 6 weeks old. Who would care for them? Animals in general have helped me get through my illness, therapy animals, etc. Their unconditional love is something worth striving for in humankind. Edit, missing word. Memes. They say when you commit suicide, think of leaving a large scar across the face of everyone who ever loved you, family, friends, and they will bear that scar for life. Unfortunately, to this day I consider etching that scar. But some days are better than others. Try finding something that you enjoy that really makes you feel a deep happiness. This can be difficult when dealing with depression, but it has to happen. Discovering a reason to live rids yourself of the burden of wanting to die. Take care of yourself. Realize that your one life that you have to live is worth getting through the tough times. Having lived through the other side of that, please, to anyone considering, think of what you'll put everyone who loves you through. It's been by far the worst experience of my life. Read my above post to get just a taste, then realize as descriptive as the post is, it's far worse than that. I decided when I was a kid I'd likely have killed myself by my early 30s. I'm in my early 30s and am still here, so thought it's time I started making plans for life, like buying a house, getting a dog, staying in a job long term, working hard. Think responsibility has taken my focus away from suicide. I still get incredibly depressed due to bipolar, but I'm still here. I always figure that I have all of eternity to spend on the other side of life, so why rush it? It's incredibly freeing to know that I don't particularly need this life, and if it ever gets so bad that I'd want to throw it away, I might as well have fun with it first. That being said, it could lead to me doing some harmful things. Like I might decide it would be fun to go on a murder spree or something. I haven't, and probably wouldn't, because I find murder appalling and not fun. But I could see myself running away and joining the circus, becoming an STD-ridden hobo or a failed and incarcerated bank robber. The point is, if it gets bad enough to throw it away, then there's no harm in just trying something new first. I found my dad dead last year. It traumatized me. I still have nightmares about it. I don't want my husband to find me dead or my child to be left alone. My stupid depressive thoughts aren't worth giving into if it's going to screw them up in the process. I love them too much. Even if I feel they would be better off without me, I know that it would still screw them up seriously. That, and I made some serious lifestyle changes. Changed how I eat to keto, which has a study or two that suggests it's almost as effective as antidepressants, and started meds and therapy. I started working again so I'm not constantly alone, and I started talking to old friends. I put myself out there again so I'm not alone with my thoughts all the time. I switched my seizure medicine. Late to the thread, but what the hell? I grew up with an emotional/verbally abusive mother, and honestly I think the only thing that kept me going was that I kept telling myself that she had already hurt me so much already and I wasn't about to hurt myself even more. I started antidepressants and it sucked. Nothing seemed to work, but I stuck with it and eventually I got on the highest dose with no luck. They added an anti-anxiety medication and slowly got me up to the highest dose of that, too. It finally made me feel better and I realized that I needed to take care of myself better. I got a dog. It's helped immensely. Edit, I forgot to mention the dog park. I went there as often as I could before I got my own dog to learn as much as I could, and the getting out and talking with people really helped me, too. You don't even need to exchange names with people. Just ask about their dog. If they ask who yours is, just say that you're looking to adopt soon, even if you're not. When I'm sad, I just stop being sad and be awesome instead. It works, trust me. It was really an accident. A friend dragged me to her kendo club at a pretty dark time for me. I started fighting, and I liked it, so I kept going. Eventually I felt like I was a part of something. I met my girlfriend there too. I think it was a mixture of exercise, belonging, and fulfillment that all came to me really against my will. That was about 2.5 years ago, and I haven't wanted to kill myself in over a year now. I used to have suicidal thoughts on almost the daily. Lots of Lexapro. Hey op. The one thing I did was take better care of myself, like brushing my teeth every day, taking more showers. I also stopped relying on other people making me happy and made some decisions that made me happy. After a family member tried and failed, it hit me how devastating it would be. So I decided I'd be strong for others. I fully acknowledge that this doesn't always work the wind as it did for me, but having had severe clinical depression and suicidal ideation for a period of 2.5 years, it was far worse the last year. I had a complete earth-shattering breakdown and almost did something stupid during it. But that was also the time that I let myself go get help. Ever since that day I've been on the mend in a very real, traceable, tangible way. Get help. You're not weak for doing so. You're so strong. You okay op? I focused myself on things that made me even a little bit happier. They were just simple things that many people didn't even notice and maybe took for granted. My life wasn't very happy as it is. I lived poorly and I thought that ending my life would be easiest way to get out of that situation. With help of my therapist and people around me I managed to get over it. It's not completely gone, but I am in much happier place now. I started writing. Realized I loved it and wrote my way to being happier. Now I'm writing a musical with my best friend and it's going to be great. Can't be a great musical if I off myself before it's done. I haven't completely gotten over them. But having a daughter helped me. There are times when those thoughts come back to me, but I love my daughter so much that the thought of losing her pulls me back. She's my reason for living now. And because of that I fight the depression and do what I can to not let it build up and overwhelm me. I began to believe the cosmos, but mostly humanity, is an unlimited amount of equal gods. I've had a suicide plan since I was 13, or so. It should have been in an adrenaline rush. Now I'm incredibly happy. I had only bad thoughts and impulsive thinkings about myself, but no more actions result of that. I even wounded myself in various ways until like I was 25. To seem to have lost connection to someone I love, leaves me void and scared most. I feel connected to everything because of my theism and you, the Redditors. Love it, makes me happy, smile. By removing toxic people from my life and putting my life in perspective and realizing my problems weren't so unfixable and that my life wasn't so bad. I drastically cut down my junk food intake and started riding my bike to work. I believe the combination of a bit of fitness combined with less sugar plus fat in system helped a ton. One thing that always held me back when I had these thoughts was to think of my parents and how they would feel seeing their son who they love and care about dead. I would think about how my friends would feel knowing that I'd decided to kill myself and know that I'd never be there for them again. Knowing all the pain and sorrow I'd cause from killing myself made me stop and never go through with anything. Pot. I smoke pot every day to put my unhappiness away for a couple hours. I don't get high before or at work, but the second I get home it's all I want. I did 10 years of antidepressants and never again will I go down that miserable path. 'Cause I don't like my biological sex, and being trans is too much work, and I live in a Middle Eastern country where this is illegal, and everyone is super sexist.